Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Amrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya
Hello, hello. It is, whew, what is it? It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's amazing how the days start to run into each other, and here we are. Here we are. Thank you to Alicia Mathewson for the Asato Ma Prayer. It is a chant that says, please, I add the please, please lead us from untruth into truth. Lead us from darkness into light, and lead us from death into immortality. And so each week we begin with this chant. It is a vibration that I resonate with and that I call towards me energetically, so that all of you who watch and listen and tune into this vibration receive that same certainty, that knowing, that landing down and in our human journeys, that this is all so temporary. It's all so temporary, and there's so much illusion and disillusion. There is so much that we are constantly sometimes wading our way through like mud, trying to just slug through the places where it feels dense or heavy or limited. And so that chant, that vibration is so pure, it's so true, it's so eternal. It's a reminder that there is this inner vision, inner awareness, inner stillness within each one of us that hears that truth and knows it. And it's a moment where the illusion can be put to the side. So that is what we do in this time together. We show up, I show up, you show up, and then we see what can be co-created. There are so many things I want to talk about, and I always wonder, I wonder before this call starts, like, where are we going today? What's the journey going to be like? And what are the topics that are going to come up? In this practice I have of being present in front of the video camera, in front of the energy, the vibration of all who listen to this practice of being present just continues to deepen my trust that the unseen is what guides our path, that the infinite awareness inside of me always has some wisdom or nugget that is going to pull some of the unknowns together, and that it will resonate with you who watch, because it's a match in vibration, a match in energy. And I keep getting that feedback, like, I watched your video, it's exactly what I needed, even though it was way after the fact of the time of me being present. My showing up in presence allows you, when you are prepared, to show up in presence to meet me here. And because we have this beautiful gift of technology, it dissolves time and space. It dissolves the schedule you have, the schedule I have, the schedule others have, and it brings this moment of presence into what gets captured in the video camera. My eyes go into the camera, and there's an energy, a vibration that's held, just like the music, right? The chant of the music was made a long time ago. And yet when the chant, the sound, the vibration hits my ear, hits your ear, there's a locking in of the vibration that immediately lands. And so it's the same with eyes through the video. What I send to you is captured in that video, and you see that and receive it. And then we are in this moment of presence together. It's pretty remarkable. So good to be alive at this time on our planet. Can you imagine? Can you even remember? I've tried to describe to my son, who's 14, I'm like, well, there wasn't email. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, there was no YouTube. What? What archaic world did you live in? And it wasn't even that long ago. Yeah, it is. Some would say it's a curse, but to me, it's just this blessing that technology continues to allow all of us around the world to have moments of presence over and over and over again. It is still up to the individual who is creating that moment and receiving that moment to determine the quality of that presence. And in my opinion, there are better moments of presence than others, depending on the topic being discussed. But presence itself, the magic of that, is aided by technology. So I feel very grateful for this time on our planet, for these tools that we have that allow us to communicate. It's interesting. My daughter is away at college. She is a freshman, and she called me today, which we're going to talk about this card. This card, because this seems to be the theme. It is the breakthrough card. She called me and she said, I would like some help. Can you pull some cards for me? I have a couple questions I wanted to explore, and I just would love a little energetic connection. Those are my words, not her words. Her words were, do you have time for a card reading? But I knew what she meant. I was getting her moment of presence that she needed. And so I was out walking my dog, and I came inside, and she had literally like 5 minutes before class started, and I had just a few minutes before a phone call. And so I sat down with my deck, and this is the beauty again of technology, right? So I only have one deck of cards. It's a Zen deck, and they're my favorite. Look at my hands. They're my favorite things to play with when I'm just wanting to be validated energetically, when I want the message to give me some words, some description, some guidance. And so my Zen deck is my favorite, my one and only favorite. So I pulled out my Zen deck, and I had actually just used them yesterday. So I start shuffling the cards, and my daughter says to me, stop, this one, go down, count this number, do this one. She's guiding me. This is the beauty again of technology, right? She's guiding me on how to pull the cards that feel right to her, even though it's my hands that are holding and moving the cards for her. So of course, in service, I was like, absolutely. And we pulled 3 cards, and then I added a bonus one that I pulled for her. And of course, they were exactly what she needed to hear. And she loved the validation, and she went off to her class. And I was sitting there, and I was looking at the cards laid out in front of me. And there was just this moment of, oh, those are for me. Like, that is exactly what I'm in the middle of right now. How is that possible? She pulled exactly the cards that I need, even though she's there, and it's exactly what she needed. It's the beauty of being present together, right? I have a vibration, she has a vibration, we match. And in that moment of the sound of our voices connecting, this beautiful synergy unfolds. So I sat and I looked at the cards, and I was like, wow. I'm about to offer, I just started offering a new program, and it's bringing up a lot of my resistance and my fears, and just like every challenge that we bring into our lives does. And so the cards were breakthrough, and then the creator, and what's the other one? Postponement, which is about don't delay, do it now. And then the last one was transformation. And I was looking at these cards like, wow, that is just an incredible gift. Like, that's exactly where I am and what's happening. And so I had some to-dos that I was going to work on that were for my program, this whole list of, I need to be prepared, I need to have all these steps in place. And so I was going to go through the logistics of it. And I was looking at the cards, and I just had this realization of, be present right now with what is happening in the breakthrough. What energy is moving? What is being transformed in your space? What is cracking open in your solar plexus that is needing a little time and attention? Be with this first guided step and really go all the way in before you go into the creation mode. Finish the breakthrough before you really begin the creation. And so I bring that to you because if I'm feeling that, my daughter's feeling that, then I'm sure there is a resonance or a match for anyone who is going to watch this whenever you watch it, right? There's a vibration that is being created in my being present that allows you to receive something that you're also needing to hear or see or feel or shift. So the breakthrough card, I guess I could bring it a little closer. Oh, it's backwards, sorry. I guess the camera does that. Anyway, if you look at the card, it shows this individual who has all of their power in the solar plexus. And in that shattering of the old blocks or stories, you can see all the pieces just being discarded, thrown to the side. Inside of that is that beautiful yellow light of the solar plexus, that individual source energy that's like, right? Shine brilliantly, be your own unique individual self. And then you can see the figure's hands are like, yes, right? How liberating. So this card could bring up fear. I'll put it in the comments in case you want to look at it more closely. It could bring up fear because in the close-up of it, you can see there's all these lines and grids and patterns in blue that obviously were the original blueprint or the original framework or structure of what held all of those blocks, protections in place around the solar plexus. And there's no blueprint or grid in that yellow light. It's simply light. There's no structure. There's nothing. It's just light. And so losing that familiarity of the structure, that comfort of knowing like there's a framework, there's a way to do it, there's a way to be, there's a way to walk, there's a way to follow. When we not even dissolve, when we break through that old way, that old structure, it can feel very uncomfortable, very disquieting to be in the original body form of who you've known yourself to be. So of course, this is the work that I was doing with a client this weekend. I had a VIP weekend, and we explored like, how do we hold other people's things or our things that are old in the solar plexus. The solar plexus is, from underneath your rib cage down, or underneath your breastbone down to a little bit below your stomach, your belly button. So there's a pretty good sized space there energetically. Your whole digestive system, which is digesting new ideas and new versions of yourself to be explored. That whole area has a lot of space, and it can gather and store crap, like stuff that doesn't serve, stuff that is useless, wasted, old, from our own lives, from our past lives, from our future expectations, from everyone else's judgments, other people's judgments, other people. Like literally, you can just gather it all and keep it inside the solar plexus. And so we build these layers around ourselves. This is often where people hold a lot of their physical weight. When you're overweight, even think of the word over. You're over. You're coming over to protect yourself, because you can tell, like, I don't want any more in there. I don't want anybody else's judgment in there. I don't want anybody else's feelings in there. I don't even like my feelings. I'm just going to keep buffering and protecting around the solar plexus. And so it's our power center. You can tell in that card, the power place to be inside the soul human experience in this lifetime is solar plexus. It is where we say, I am this in this lifetime. I am becoming this. I am more than this, right? We identify our gifts and our purpose, and then we act from this knowing in our digestive system, that gut feeling people talk about, right? Gut is literally where you hold your intuitive momentum, right? Trusting your gut. So the breakthrough card is about the solar plexus. And I'm actually going to read a little something to you today, which I don't normally like to read on video, but it feels important. So in the commentary, the Zen cards, super awesome. It says, the predominance of red in this card indicates at a glance that its subject is energy, pure, or energy, power, and strength. The brilliant glow emanates from the solar plexus, or the center of power on the figure, and the posture is one of exuberance and determination. All of us occasionally reach a point where enough is enough. At such times, it seems we must do something, anything, even if it later turns out to be a mistake, to throw off the burdens and the restrictions that are limiting us. If we don't, they threaten to suffocate and cripple our very life energy itself. If you are now feeling that enough is enough, allow yourself to take the risk of shattering the old patterns and limitations that have kept your energy from flowing. In doing so, you will be amazed at the vitality and empowerment this breakthrough can bring to your life. All that from one little card, right? That my daughter told me that she needed pulled, that actually serves me, that now I'm transmitting out to all of you. It is the shift that, you know, I've described it in so many ways. There's this shift in consciousness that is happening on our planet. And it's love, it's awareness, it's empowerment, but it's all happening in the solar plexus. It's knowing who we are as individuals and what our gifts are, and then expressing them, being them, emanating that light. And in that emanation of that light, we shine so brightly that other people start to wake up. Other people start to feel their awareness going, oh, they can do it, I can do it, right? Don't you love those examples of real people? It's like, oh, they screwed up and they're still doing fine. I guess I can too, right? It's, I keep saying right. I already know it's right. When we, oh, that was funny. Yeah, so good. The solar plexus is meant to be this beacon of light that each of us are shining. And when one shines, then the other one has permission to shine, and the other one has permission to shine, and everyone starts to be more brilliant. Instead of us protecting and guarding and putting these walls, you know, like the figure has here with all the red around, the blocks around the blueprint, the framework. When we do that and we hold it all in, our unique expression isn't fully being shared. And so we all match that hiding, staying small energy. As we start to break through and shake open and let go of these old frameworks and structures, then others around us have permission to do the same. They're almost challenged, right, to do the same. It's like, well, oh, I don't want to not have fun like they're having fun. I'd better try. I'd better change something, do something a little more different, right? A little bolder, a little bigger. And when we see the joy, you can tell in the figure's face, there's this big smile starting to form. When we see and feel the resonance of joy in that expression of our light, in that being more brilliant. You know, this is what I model on these calls. I was just watching a video and they were saying, you know, show where you're imperfect and be imperfect. And I'm like, there's plenty of times where I am imperfect and I talk about it and share it all the time. But this Soul Stories, this time, this hour is where my soul comes straight through. And the soul essence of me, the infinite awareness, expression of who I am, beyond just this limited body and this limited lifetime, that immortality, that version of me that's been here forever and will continue forever, that energy, that essence, that consciousness is joy, bright, brilliant light, happy, excited, ready for whatever is going to come. And I'm not hiding that in this space. I'll make more mistakes and I'll talk about it. But here, like this playground for me is so much about I am present. The human is present with the fullest expression of my soul. And it's so good. It's so fun. It's so easy. There's no effort or trying. I show up, and whatever it is that I'm going to talk about, we, my soul and the human version of Viv, are going to talk about is just going to flow through. Because there's this trust in my light, in my brilliance, in my solar plexus. I am embodied in my physical form with such joy, such reverence for the gift of being here, that it's just this beautiful light shining. And all of us have the opportunity for that. We have the possibility for these breakthroughs, right? To dismantle, take apart the framework, the burdens, the blocks that we've been holding, and just start tossing them out, one by one. And as we do that, as we let go of an old belief, it can feel a little bumpy and rocky. This is what I see in my coaching work when we have this way we've always felt we should be in relationship with, for example, our parents or our partner or our siblings or our children. When we feel like this is the way we've been taught to be in relationship, this is what we have gathered in our lessons in this human journey. And so we just follow what we know. We stay with the framework and the structure that is familiar. Even though it feels like this, even though we're drowning, even though we're so barricaded, we don't even remember that there is a light inside. That all of the layers that we've put on, you can just start to unravel them. You can just let one little piece go, and then some of your light starts to shine out. And then you realize, oh, I can also let this little piece go, and I can shine my light this way. And suddenly, through the armor, the barricades, you got little chinks of light that are reflecting who you are. And then people start to notice those little pieces of light coming through, and they reflect you, they validate you, like, I see something is different. I'm not quite sure what it is. Did you get your hair cut? Did you go to the spa? What'd you do? You just look a little different. And in that validation that something is different, we get the courage, the fortification to let go of another little piece, and then another little piece. And pretty soon, you're breaking through, right? You're breaking through. And that's this soul human journey. It's accumulating the patterns because, of course, they serve us, they teach us, they strengthen us. None of the patterns are bad patterns or terrible wrong patterns. They're just ways that we've been learning and exploring these themes in our lives. And then as we realize there are other patterns, new options, there are other ways to be and act and express ourselves, we can let go of some of those old ones. And it just starts to gather momentum. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So how does this relate to what I'm going through, right? Because I don't want to talk about what my daughter's looking at or what my clients are looking at. Like, what about me? What about... what's this breakthrough mean to me? Because in my sharing, hopefully there's a resonance and a little chink of light that comes through and illuminates something in your journey. So for me, the cards, when I was pulling them for my daughter and then I looked at them for myself, what had been on my mind was this program. So I'm about to offer, I am offering, I keep saying about, I am. I'm practicing my I am statement from the third chakra. I am offering a program. And it's a virtual classroom. I do lots of group work, and some of it's here in person at my home, and some of it is meditation via phone calls. I've helped co-host a program that was all virtual, but this is my first, I'm gonna be the teacher. the teacher. Yeah, the teacher student, the guide who holds the container and holds the space. And so as people come in and take their seat and begin taking off the armor, breaking apart the barriers, the layers that they've been putting on, examining the structure, the framework that has been holding their journey this way, as all of that starts to happen, as the space holder, as the guide, there's a steadiness, a capacity that I hold that is essential for the container's strength, for the container's capacity. And so for me, there's, I guess it's like a new teacher, right? A new teacher on the first day of school. I remember when I was in college, one of my friends was studying to be a teacher, and her first year of actually teaching, she lives in Indiana, and it was so exciting to talk to her about like how she was preparing her classroom and the supplies that she was buying and all the things she was putting on the walls and how she was going to welcome her students in. And then she got into the nitty gritty of all the lesson plans. And, it's like there's an eagerness and excitement as you begin to form the container, the space that your students come into. And I've been through that process many times, but this is now like my container, completely my ideas of what we're going to talk about. Even the presence knocks us to the side often. There's a classroom that I'm forming, and as I tune into my solar plexus, it's bringing up some of the old beliefs, the old stories that I have about being in a virtual program, or expectations of students and teachers, and dissolving that, dissolving the old structures of what a coach does in a coaching program, because this is not that. And so it's just bringing all of these pieces up for me to explore. So see how that resonates with where you are in your journey. What match do you have to that? If you're hearing these words, you have a match. So what match do you have? What is coming up in your experience, your next steps that have that same, right? Am I ready? How do I do that? What is it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? All of those. It's much like when you're pregnant. When I was pregnant, there's so much unknown in the baby. You're going to love the baby. You're going to absolutely fall in love with every single thing the baby does. And yet in that preparatory time, I'm doing the belly, preparatory time of getting ready for having the baby, your fears about being a mother come up, your fears about the future for your children, everything that is conditioning, programming, framework that is old and familiar comes up to be felt, to be explored. And it's perfect, because then you have the opportunity to break it apart, to let go of the ones that are not your beliefs, and to tune into your own truth and your own light inside, your own brilliance of the I am chakra, the third solar plexus chakra, so that you can just get rid of the stuff that no longer serves. And then your light gets brighter and brighter, and you can start to just shine that. So for me, the biggest thing there's this big block over here where I've been tuning into the number of people that I expect to be in this container, and my beliefs about what's the right number, what's the safe number, what's the number of students that challenges me but doesn't make me so afraid that I don't want to do the work, right? Like there's this fine line. And I have lots of teacher friends who talk about that. They're like, oh God, I've got a class that has like 8 students and I love it. And I have a class that has 35 and I lose control. My daughter reflects this too as a college student. She has some classes with 12, 15 students, and those she loves because she likes the intimacy of connecting with people. And then she has some classes that have 900 students in the class. right? 900 students, which I remember that from college too. Never 900, that's a lot, but big lecture style classrooms. And those also offer a certain fun or benefit, right? You're kind of nameless, so you can kind of hide in the numbers. And so there's an in-between for me. It's not 30, it's not 900. You know, it's the number I keep getting is 99. And so I'm sitting with what are my beliefs about holding a container of 99 individuals who are awakening, 99 soul humans who are going to look at their blocks, their baggages, and see what they can let go of, and then find, rediscover, remember, explore their light, and then allow that light to start shining, to start going out into communities and changing our world, right? When I feel into that, 99 isn't enough. We need to do more. It needs to be bigger. There needs to be way more people waking up like that. So it's a beautiful dance, and this card, the breakthrough card, is just so perfect. It's such a great visual for me to hold. Like, I'm just going to pop some of those old things away and feel my light. There was a beautiful video, I think I mentioned it, that I was watching by Lisa Nichols, and she asked these questions at the end of the video, and so I'm going to read them to you because for anyone who is watching this and resonating with this idea of a breakthrough, right? These questions are so good, so powerful. So you can listen the first time, and then you can come back if you want and pause the video and write them down. Her video, I don't know if I wrote down the name of it. I'll have to see if I can find the link again, and I'll put it in the comments so that you can look at it if you would like to. It was a really powerful video. She's amazing. Okay, so from Lisa Nichols, here's what she says. She says, who are you willing to become at the risk of being seen? Right? Who are you willing to become at the risk of being seen? What are you willing to do at the risk of being wildly successful? So many of us are more afraid to be successful than we are to fail. And I feel that, right? What if 99 individuals start shining their light into the community? Like, all these communities suddenly start to awaken because there's one guide who's planted his or herself in the middle of that community and is like, wow, see my brilliance, see me shine. How incredible is that, right? So what am I willing to do to risk that happening? Talk about it. I'm right here being present, saying this is what's going on. And I'm going to keep looking at it until I'm clear. So I'm clear and I am holding that space. And then guides are coming in and they're walking out ready to change the world. What are you willing to say at the risk of being heard by everybody? And Lisa Nichols described how she was on the Oprah show and she said, I can talk to 500 people, 5,000 people. She said, but 56 million? 56 million people are going to hear my story? Do I know my story? Do I have my story straight? Yeah, like, what are you willing to say? And for me, this practice of being present, this practice of coming here and sitting in front of a camera and trusting my soul is guiding this life. I was going to say line and life, and it all ran together. My soul is guiding my walk, my words, my choices, my actions, right? My soul is here, fully present. And because I have such a deep trust in that alignment of body, mind, spirit, my own body, mind, spirit, I already know what's going to come through is exactly what most serves me and what most serves you as you're listening. What are you willing to model at the risk that people will follow you? Yikes, right? They're going to follow you. Isn't that funny? I just said to someone, I said to a friend of mine the other day, like, you're like the Pied Piper, you know, all the kids are following you. And there's often a sense of responsibility. My words today. Responsibility that we feel when others say they're going to follow. Right? You be the leader and I'll follow you. And the leaders, many of us, I consider myself a leader, and I know I'm only going to expand that. Sometimes that idea, that calling to be a leader, it's like, oh, what if in another lifetime I led people the wrong way? What if when I step into this space and I start to go into my true leadership potential, someone gets hurt, someone gets left behind, someone's feelings get hurt. Some don't come, some don't follow, right? What do I do when that happens? What if I lose my way? In this leadership, it can be intense to step into that space. And that's part of this. That's part of the breakthrough. When the solar plexus has dissolved, broken through, gotten rid of the doubt, the disbelief, the judgment, the old structures, the old patterns and blueprints, when all of that is gone and it's simply this light, our own inner light, just shining out, reflecting out, there's no wrong way. The light is the leader. And when we're constantly tuning into that light and getting clearer and clearer and listening to the way that our lights are guiding us forward, there's no wrong turns. And all those people who are following start to see their light. And then they stand up and they become leaders. And so it's not one leading millions or billions. It's lots of leaders, and they're all we are all standing in our brilliant lights and just simply reflecting all of this magic to each other. And our last one, what are you willing to let go at the risk of getting something greater? Yeah, I feel like my journey is one continuous surrender after another. Just when I get comfortable and I feel like, oh yeah, I've got the Tuesday calls down. I've got this, I've got that. It's Lisa Nichols talks about cognitive dissonance. It's where you're constantly challenging yourself by putting yourself into the future version of who you know you're going to become. And then you have that mental, like, I'm not that yet, but I know I'm supposed to be. And so you're a little off balance as you're expanding and stepping into the greater version of yourself always. And that's what I get from this. What are you willing to let go of at the risk of getting something greater? When we're holding on tight to the belief that this is as good as it's going to be. This is enough. Isn't that what the card said, right? When you get to the point where you're like, enough is enough. Some of us always just go, enough's good. Enough is good. I'm good. It's enough right here. I don't want to go any further. And our solar plexus in this journey as a soul in a human body is always expanding, always becoming more, always, all the way through until we transition from death into immortality. And so we leave the physical form behind and go back to simply being consciousness, awareness, love, universal oneness. So go for it, right? Go for it. That's what my friend said to me today. She's like, just go for it. Just do it. Why not? Why not? So I extend that same, not even a challenge, that same encouragement to you. Right? Go for it. Go for it. Breakthrough. Just break through. Because it's so fun. And when you trust that light inside of you, there's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. Just constant learning and evolving and becoming brighter and brighter and more brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so the song that I selected for today, Shuffle. Shuffle is my friend. I go to Alicia Mathewson, I hit shuffle, and then whatever song pops up is usually what I pick. Today I went to the second one because I'd already played the first one a couple times. It's Birds in Barnstable, and I'm sure Alicia would have much to say about that song. It talks about, you'll hear in the lyrics, but what caught my attention the first time I heard the song and why I love it so much is it describes Sunday at 5:55 a.m. and then 5:55 p.m. And my daughter, who I've been talking about today, my daughter was born on a Sunday at 5:55 a.m. And the number has always been tender for me, just a really beautiful number. It's also the number of transformation, big transformation, and my daughter's transformed my journey for sure, and she also is here to have a transformative experience in her life. So when I first heard that song, it just touched me so deeply, and the lyrics are so powerful and so inspiring. So I feel like you'll find some resonance in the lyrics as we close our time together. So let me set this up. It takes me just a second here. And we don't want that one. We want this one. All right, here we go.
5:55 a.m. The sun is peeking through the trees, and the birds sound like a symphony. Coffee strong and hot, grass still wet with dew. I can't imagine a day more perfect or true. Waking up on a Sunday with the birds in Barnstable, the backyard I knew was just a girl. Sitting on the sun porch with the birds in Barnstable, opening my heart to the world. Let every child know this love. Let every man feel this free. Let every girl arise above. Let every boy be soft and happy. Let every cell regenerate like a perfect rising star. Let every heart recreate the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are. 5:55 p.m. The sun is falling down the sky, and the birds are falling off to sleep. Beer cold and crisp, skin still hot with the sun. I can't imagine a day more perfect or free. Living life on a Sunday with the birds in Barnstable, the ocean I knew is just a girl. Swimming in the harbor with the birds in Barnstable, opening my heart to the world. Let every child know this love. Let every man feel this free. Let every girl arise above. Let every boy be soft and happy. Let every cell regenerate like a perfect rising star. Let every heart recreate the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are. And as the salt washes me clean, I remember your face. Thank you, Mom, for how you lived your life and how you let go with grace. Thank you, Mom, for how you lived your life and how you let go with grace. 5:55 a.m. The sun is peeking through the trees, and the birds sound like a symphony. Mother clear and strong, conducting now with her light. I can hear her voice perfectly. Letting go on a Sunday with the birds in Barnstable. The heart I knew is just a girl, dancing in the life force with the birds in Barnstable. Opening my heart to the world. Let every child know this love. Let every man feel this free. Let every girl rise above. Let every boy be soft and happy. Let every cell regenerate like a perfect rising star. Let every heart recreate the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are. Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you, Alicia. What a beautiful song. All right, my friends, break on through to the other side. It is time to break through. So much love from my heart to yours.